You know that feeling you get when you're about to start something new, but you're scared and you just want to run the other way? Yeah, that's how I feel right now. And there's a reason for that, which I will get into in just a minute. But first, let me make this bold statement, okay? Right here. This video will be seen by millions of people, and it will have a positive effect. And I'll tell you exactly why I'm making that statement towards the end of this video, but I'm starting this thing called Dad Life with Drew. How original, right? I know. But who cares about the name? I guess I should probably just introduce myself. So I'm Andrew, and if you're anything like me or any other human that has ever existed, you've probably faced the frightening idea of starting something completely new. It's overwhelming. It's scary. And let's be honest, self-doubt creeps in, like, who cares about what I have to say? What's so special about me, right? But in just a moment, when you hear my why, you'll see why none of that matters. But here's the thing. We all have to start somewhere. I mean, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right? Talk about the start to a very interesting story of the world. And what I'm doing today is obviously much less important, but it is a start. Because finally, after years of just thinking about it, I'm actually acting on it. I'm doing it. I'm starting it right here with you at zero. And it's going to be quite a journey. A journey of what, you may ask? Well, let me share this vision with you. I'm pretty excited about it because this is something that's been on my heart for a few years at least. I'm an entrepreneur, a business owner for the past 4 years, a husband, and a dad of 2 girls, and I've been watching them grow up way too fast. And if you have or had young children, you know exactly what I mean. And that's fine. I want them to grow, of course. But as life happens day by day, and as I myself get older, there's a word that keeps coming into my mind, and I can't avoid it. And that word is legacy. But not in the way that you've probably thought about legacy. By the way, when I say the word legacy, I'm interested to know what's the first thing that comes to your mind. So pause for a second. All right? More on that in a moment. But for now, getting back to the whole life is moving too fast thing, I find myself, as I get older, really finding joy in the mundane parts of life, the parts we often take for granted, the ordinary stuff of life that most people try to just hurry up and get through, like washing dishes, like sitting on our front porch, basking in the morning sun with my girls, watching the bees happily buzzing around our overgrown lavender plant, taking out the trash, and just being present with my family. But I have to interrupt myself to bring up Brother Lawrence. Brother who? Well, he was a monk whose primary task in the monastery was to wash dishes, of all things. But he wrote this little book, The Practice of the Presence of God. And I'm going to read from it, and this quote just might change your life. Brother Lawrence thought it was a shame that some people pursued certain activities, which he noted they did rather imperfectly due to human shortcomings, mistaking the means for the end. He said that our sanctification does not depend as much on changing our activities as it does on doing them for God rather than for ourselves. The most effective way Brother Lawrence had for communicating with God was to simply do his ordinary work. He did this obediently out of a pure love of God, purifying it as much as was humanly possible. He believed it was a serious mistake to think of our prayer time as being different from any other time. Our actions should unite us with God when we are involved in our daily activities, just as our prayers unite us with Him in our quiet devotion. So how does this pertain to family life and doing the mundane tasks around the house or enjoying the most simple pleasures? Well, I think it's about being present. And Brother Lawrence found the most incredible gift of learning how to constantly be in God's presence. And it's not that God isn't always around, but it's our awareness that's lacking, right? In the same way, it's not our lives that are necessarily lacking pleasure, But just like Brother Lawrence found pleasure in washing dishes because he decided to invite God into the midst of that mundane activity, so we also can decidedly create a life of meaningful interactions by choosing to see the beauty in them, right? And sometimes, don't you just want to bottle up those moments and keep them close? Because things change so fast. Even in just 1 year, things can be vastly different than they are now. In fact, no one really knows what tomorrow holds. So, what does all this have to do with legacy? Well, imagine a place where dads just like you and me come together and learn, grow, and work on becoming better humans, better dads, better parents, better men, and work intentionally with accountability at creating the kind of life that you don't feel the need to escape from. It's what I call legacy lifestyle. And it's a safe space where I can pass along the little life lessons like finding joy in the simple things, a place where we can talk about the things that truly matter, the things that we value, and the lessons we've learned in faith, family, finance, freedom, and so on. But what is this not, okay? This is not a place of perfection or harsh judgment. I'm not perfect, and I don't have all the answers, and I'm not trying to here. But I do trust in and follow a God who sees all and loves all and is present. And what I do know is that every single day we make choices that shape our legacy. It's in the smallest, most insignificant moments, the daily decisions, the times we spend with our family, or times when no one is looking. From the moment you wake up until you lay your head down on that pillow, every little decision you make, consciously or without thinking, is shaping your present and your future. I know that may sound dramatic or scary, and sometimes even messy and complicated, depending on your situation in life. And that's okay. We can learn from those moments too. So that's the real twist here. What if we redefined legacy, not as something morbid or distant, but as a series of daily practices and habits that inform how we live our lives right now? What if we started talking openly about the things that we avoid, like death and life and everything in between? For me, I'm calling this endeavor, this thing I'm creating, a personal legacy channel. And I'm doing this for my family. There it is, my why. It's for my daughters. I want to normalize the conversations around legacy, and I want to help dads at any stage of fatherhood to think carefully about the life they're building. Because guess what? Like it or not, your legacy starts now. It's happening now. So you might as well be intentional about it, right? What kind of life do you want? Is it the life you're living now? If it is, great, but I'm sure there's still more to improve on. And if it's not the kind of life you want, then why not? What needs to change? Are you wanting a different job or career? Are you hoping to move to a different house? Are you hoping to be less busy and lead a much slower, more thoughtful, meaningful life? Whatever your dreams are, and however attainable or unattainable they may seem, whatever the case may be, what needs to change in order for you to get there? So now what? Well, I would love to see how many other dads out there resonate with this same mission and vision. I'm guessing there's more out there than I could imagine, but how do I find you, right? How can we connect? And I guess that's where this whole social media thing comes in, right? You remember at the beginning when I said I'm starting something new and I feel like running the other way? Well, there are many reasons to feel like that. But one of the main reasons is, what if I fail? What if I start something that I can't finish? I have no idea what I'm doing here. This is all very new to me. I'm not an influencer, a guru. I've never built an audience on social media. I don't even like to speak in front of the camera. I currently have 0 followers, and this is my first video. I know it's going to be hard work, but I want to prove to myself and to my daughters that if you want to make a positive change, take a chance and start something new, you can. You actually can do hard things, and you can succeed. But you can't be afraid of failing. It's just another step towards success. And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision, a daily plan, and being consistent, showing up even if you don't feel like it. Reminds me of Luke 14:28-30. Jesus said, "Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? For if you lay a foundation that you're not able to finish, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying, 'This person began to build and wasn't able to finish.'" So he's talking about the cost of being a disciple, of following Jesus. It's not a flippant decision like, yeah, I'll follow Jesus when it's convenient, but if it gets in the way of my career, forget it. No, if you're starting something, you consider what it will take to complete it. So with that said, I feel, I guess, more ready than ever in my inadequacy to let God be my strength and to see where he takes this. And if you're watching this now, still, I want you to come with me on this journey because it can feel really lonely, but maybe we can learn something together that will help us grow and make ourselves and this world a better place. So at the beginning, I made a bold statement that millions of people will see this video and it will have a positive effect on their lives. Now, why would I say something like that? Just wishful thinking? Well, it's not because I want to be famous or make lots of money. And I'm not trying to be arrogant. If you have a purpose and a direction that you're called to go into, then you need to clearly state that to the world. You need to verbalize your intent until you see it materialize. Your words have so much power, and it's not a woohoo, mystical, magical thing either. It's a proven life principle, and it's biblical. Remember in the beginning when God said, "Let there be light"? That was a powerful word. And John chapter 1 tells us that the word that was spoken there was actually Jesus before he was in the flesh. Think about that. And even though we aren't God saying, "Let there be light," a similar principle applies when we are grounded in Jesus, the true living word. He wants to give us the desires of our heart as we are aligned with him. So if you've made it this far, here's the help I would appreciate. First, prayers. Prayers are appreciated. And I would kindly ask that you subscribe to Dad Life with Drew on YouTube and all the other social medias at Dad Life with Drew. And please comment here, wherever you're watching this, and let me know which part of this video most resonated with you or challenged you. I'll be checking the comments and I'll be putting out new videos every week, Lord willing. So don't miss any of the upcoming videos. And please join me in creating a life and legacy that we can be proud of, starting today. Remember, every choice you make is part of the legacy you live and the legacy you leave. So let's make it count. See you in the next one.